Please come over to our house tonight. I want to treat you to a meal I've prepared just for you. In a normal family, this would be grateful, but I harbor doubts about my daughter-in-law Julie's attitude. Just 3 days ago, I had scolded Julie for neglecting her child-rearing duties under the excuse of her part-time job. Yet now, Julie, who never cooks, suddenly wants to treat me to a meal. What's the reason behind this? As I pondered this, my response was delayed, and she added, "I'm always in your debt, aren't I? After you scolded me the other day, I finally woke up. I need to be more like a mother."
Well, if you've understood that, I'm happy.
Despite my doubts about Julie's true intentions, I decided to indulge in her kindness. Julie greeted me with a smile that seemed almost too extravagant. "Welcome. Today, I've prepared fish and croquettes for you. Please, relax and enjoy. I even filleted the fish myself."
Wow, that's impressive. It must have been hard for you, who doesn't usually cook.
It was. I cut my fingers several times. Indeed, looking at Julie's hands, several of her slender, white fingertips were covered in band-aids. I began to think that maybe she really did put effort into cooking for me. "Come, take a seat." I sat down as she suggested, and there were 2 croquettes on the plate. "Try these croquettes. They're freshly fried." With a mischievous smile, Julie offered me the croquettes. "My name is Olivia, and I'm 62 years old. When I was 20, I reunited and married my high school classmate at a party. A year later, we were blessed with our son, Bob. After graduating college, Bob got a job at a local company and rented an apartment near his workplace for a shorter commute. At 30, he married Julie, a cute woman with a lovely smile, whom he met through work. My husband and I were looking forward to a bright future for their marriage, but soon after, my husband passed away. Left alone, I overcame my loneliness by turning my hobby of flower arrangement into a profession, opening a classroom in my home. Luckily, I had plenty of students, so I was able to support myself financially. The newlyweds were both working, so their meals often relied on dining out, but they seemed to manage well by cooperating in household chores.
Feel free to come over for a meal sometime.
Thanks, Mom. We'll visit when we have time. Even though they were busy, I kept in touch with Bob and Julie, often over the phone. 2 years after their marriage, Julie gave birth to their first child, Sophia. She quit her job to focus on child rearing. Since her parents lived far away, they couldn't visit often. Concerned about her handling first-time parenting alone, I frequently visited to help.
If you ever need help, just tell me.
I'm always grateful for your help. Supporting Julie's parenting was also a source of fulfillment for me. Bob, despite working late, always made sure to see Sophia before bed and took care of Sophia whenever he was home. But being a new dad, he was often unsure about childcare, and either Julie or I would step in to calm Sophia when he cried.
I'm not good at this. I need to study parenting more. No one's perfect from the start. You learn as you go. It's not just the child who grows, but the parents too.
Wow, you're so insightful. Julie said that with a big smile on her face. As Sophia turned 3 and Julie found more free time, she started working part-time again.
Don't push yourself too hard. Do what you can.
I said this out of concern for Julie, but Julie shook her head. I want to contribute to the household income for Sophia's sake. Sophia is in daycare now.
That's great. I'll take care of Sophia on daycare's days off since my classes are off too.
Thank you for everything. I felt more embarrassed than grateful. My true intention was just to spend more time with Sophia. With Julie working part-time, she was out of the house more, and household chores and childcare often took a back seat. Still, Bob and I decided not to interfere, understanding she must be tired from returning to work. On my days off from teaching flower arrangement classes, I'd often take care of Sophia, suggesting to Julie and Bob, "Why don't you two go out for a movie or something, have some alone time?" "Where's Mommy and Daddy?"
Mommy and Daddy are off to power up so they can keep protecting you, Sophia.
Wow, that's amazing. Yet, when Julie returned from their rare date, she looked exhausted. Seeing her deep sigh, I asked, "Didn't have fun?" "Not really, it was so crowded," Bob replied to her, looking unhappy. I wondered if my good intentions had unintentionally caused them trouble. Months passed, and one day, Julie came over with Sophia.
"Are you off to work again today?"
"Yes, I'll be busy all day, so please take care of Sophia," Julie said, bowing her head. I found it odd.
"Isn't your job at the local supermarket? Is it that busy all day?"
Julie hesitated for a moment, then said, "I've increased my hours recently. After a few months, I realized my income wasn't rising as much as I'd hoped." She quickly changed the subject. "Anyway, can you teach me your cooking sometime? Sophia loves it." I didn't press further, agreeing with a smile, "Sure, when we find the time." But I felt that day might never come. From then on, Julie not only left Sophia with me but also started asking me to do their house cleaning and laundry. Entering their home, I'd often sigh at the sight. It was clear Julie hardly touched the cleaning or laundry.
"Even with more work hours, shouldn't you be able to handle this much?"
Grumbling to myself but not wanting to leave it as it was, both for hygiene and Sophia's sake, I started cleaning right away. Opening the fridge, I found it nearly empty, with used ready meal containers carelessly tossed in the sink. It was heartbreaking to see Sophia living in such conditions, quietly drawing in the living room. My dissatisfaction with Julie grew day by day, eventually leading to a confrontation. "Please take care of Sophia today, and the cleaning too. Oh, and can you throw out the piled-up newspapers as well?" Julie said, about to leave as usual. "Hold on a minute. I have something important to discuss with you," I said sternly. Julie, taken aback by my tone, turned around.
"I'm not just a convenient babysitter for you to dump Sophia on every time you use work as an excuse. I know. I feel bad about it and I'm reflecting on it." "Really? It doesn't seem like it."
Confronted with my stern tone, Julie momentarily halted her rebuttal.
"Not only Sophia but also pushing the cleaning and laundry onto me. Do you think I'm some kind of maid?" "I didn't mean that." "Then why don't you try to do some of it yourself?" "I'm just so tired from work every day."
I sighed at her repeated excuse. "I understand you're tired, but there are ways to manage. Like learning easy recipes or doing a bit of cleaning daily. It's sheer laziness, I must say." I knew I was being harsh, but I felt it was necessary. I felt that if I didn't speak up like that, Julie would continue to take advantage of my kindness indefinitely. I didn't want Julie to think it was okay to leave all the housework and childcare to others. If we couldn't speak honestly out of fear of ruining our relationship, we couldn't call it a good one. Sometimes, you have to be tough. "I'm sorry. I'll be more careful." Julie apologized with a sulky face. That night, I called Bob, timing it with his return from work.
I spoke harshly to Julie about taking responsibility for the household and childcare. "Did she mention anything to you?" "No, nothing." "But why say such things? That's between me and Julie, not something for you to interfere in,"
Bob replied, slightly annoyed.
"It's not nonsense. You saw how dirty the house was, how much laundry there was. Why don't you, as her husband, say anything?"
Bob sighed audibly. "I always clean up when I get home. Julie's tired from her new job. Besides, the old-fashioned idea that housework is only a woman's job is outdated."
"That's not the point. You're tired from work too, right? Why don't you both cooperate? The way things are, it's just not right." "All right, I'll talk to Julie about it,"
Bob promised, though unconvincingly. After that, Julie gradually stopped pushing housework and childcare onto me. I was relieved, thinking she had reflected. However, when Sophia started elementary school, things seemed to revert back to how they were. On the weekends, Sophia always comes to my house with a backpack to stay the night, and even on weekday nights she often comes to my house for dinner. Sometimes, after school, Sophia wouldn't go straight home but instead head to my place with her backpack, saying, "Grandma, I'm home." "That's not right, this isn't your home," I'd say with a laugh, to which Sophia would seriously reply, "Well, I'm gonna eat here anyway, might as well stay over tonight, right?" Julie seems to still be using her part-time job as an excuse for coming home late. Bob, too, has been coming home late more often since his promotion, and his business trips to other states have increased. It's understandable given their positions, but leaving an elementary school kid alone with both parents away.
Dinner should ideally be eaten at home with family.
Do I bother you when I come here, Grandma? Sophia looked at me with sad eyes, so I hurriedly said, "Of course not. I love it when you enjoy my cooking so much." "But doesn't your mom cook for you?" "Sometimes when she's home, she heats up pre-made meals or boils water for instant noodles." Sophia answered as if this was a sign of her mother's kindness.
"All right, you can stay over tonight."
Again, Julie's shortcomings seemed to come to the fore. Sighing, I pulled out Sophia's dirty clothes from her bag.
"What's this?"
"There's a hole.
I fell while playing soccer with friends a while back. Mom said she'd fix it when she's less busy." "How long ago was that?"
Right after spring break, I think." Summer break was almost here, which meant Sophia had been wearing her gym clothes with a hole all this time.
"I'll sew it up for you while I do the laundry."
"Thanks, Grandma."
"But no leaving carrots on your plate."
Sophia sneakily tried to hide the carrots she disliked at the edge of her plate.
"You need to eat your veggies to grow big and strong."
I pretended to be stern, and reluctantly, Sophia put the carrots in her mouth, making a face at their taste and texture. The next morning, I visited Bob and Julie's house and ran into Julie just as she was leaving.
"Julie, enough is enough. What's the matter with you, yelling so early in the morning? You're giving me a headache."
Julie frowned with an annoyed expression. I told her about the clothes from last night. Julie said, "Oh, I forgot about that."
"It's not a laughing matter. Can't you act a bit more like a mother?"
"Sophia feels sorry for you."
"I'm busy with my job. You know that."
"Busy moms aren't just you. Others work hard without complaining. Yet you." "Are we done? I'm in a hurry. Don't want to be late and get scolded by my boss." Julie ignored my attempt to stop her and left. 3 days later, Julie called me.
"Please come over tonight. I want to treat you to a meal I've prepared for you."
In a normal family, this would be a happy occasion, but I had my doubts about Julie's attitude. Why would Julie, who never cooks, suddenly want to treat me to a meal? As I hesitated to respond, she added, "I've always been a burden on you. After you scolded me, I realized I need to be more motherly."
"Well, if you understand that, I'm happy."
Despite my doubts about her true intentions, I decided to accept her invitation. Arriving at their house, the delicious smell that greeted me. It suggested Julie had indeed cooked. Julie welcomed me with an exaggerated smile.
"Welcome. Today, I prepared fish and croquettes. Please, take your time. I even filleted the fish myself." "Wow, impressive. Must have been hard for you, who doesn't usually cook." "Yes, I cut my fingers several times. But I learned from a housewife who shows how to fillet fish on a streaming service."
Indeed, Julie's slender, white fingertips were covered in band-aids. Maybe she really did put effort into cooking for me, and I slightly revised my opinion of her.
"Come, have a seat."
As I sat down, I noticed 2 croquettes on the plate.
"Let's eat these croquettes while they're still warm." "Sounds good. Sophia isn't back from school yet. Let's enjoy the croquettes."
Just then, the front door opened, and Sophia's energetic voice called out, "I'm home."
"Oh, you're back already." "What? Grandma's here too."
Sophia and I high-fived with joy. "Mom made croquettes today. Go wash your hands first."
"These were prepared for Grandma." "It's okay. Sophia would want some too."
"But..." Julie looked perplexed. After washing her hands, Sophia rushed to my side and sat down next to me.
"Wow, these croquettes look delicious." "No, you can't have those. I made them for Grandma."
Julie scolded with a stern face, but I smiled and said, "I'll just take the thought." Go ahead, eat them while they're still warm. I passed my croquettes, meant for me, to Sophia, who must have been hungry.
Thank you, Grandma.
Just as Sophia was about to bite into the croquette, Julie shouted in a voice I'd never heard before, "No. Not that one."
What's wrong, Mom?
Sophia stopped and looked at her mother, puzzled.
Sorry for startling you. That croquette actually has carrots in it, which you hate, right? I'll make you another one without carrots later.
Hearing this from Julie, Sophia let go of the croquette.
You still need to eat your veggies. They're tasty, give them a try.
I encouraged her with a smile. Sophia hesitated, then suddenly said, "Grandma, can you check if there's a letter in the mailbox? I think there might be one." Curious, I stepped outside to check, but found no letters. Sophia was clearly stalling to pick out the carrots from her croquette, such a transparent plan. I chuckled to myself. There was no letter, I said, returning to find the croquette split in half, as expected. But Sophia sat with a troubled look, facing the halved croquette.
What's wrong? Aren't you eating? Grandma, there's something weird about this croquette. It has a bone in it. A bone? What do you mean?
I examined the croquette and indeed, something sharp and bone-like was poking out.
When I split it with my chopsticks to remove the carrots, this bone popped out. It's strange for a croquette. What's this about, Julie?
Julie remained silent, looking down. Further investigation revealed not just one bone, but several, chopped into pieces and stuffed into the croquette. It could have caused a serious injury if eaten unknowingly. The reality in front of me sent chills down my spine. Julie had said she filleted fish for grilled fish, but could the bones have mistakenly ended up in the croquette? No, that seemed impossible. It's impossible that such a large chunk of bone could have been mistakenly put in. It's more reasonable to think it was intentionally added. Let me check something. When I said, standing up, Julie tried to stop me, but I brushed her arm off and headed to the kitchen. I rummaged through the trash and found the fish head, but no other bones. Strange, where did all the bones go? Back at the table, I broke open the other croquette, which turned out to be just a normal one.
So you went that far, Julie?
Anger and disdain for Julie welled up inside me. Then Bob came home from work. What's all this noise? I could hear it from outside. Oh, Mom, you're here. What happened? I revealed to Bob the entire plot that had just unfolded.
Julie! Is what Mom's saying true?
Julie glared at me in silence. I'm asking why there were bones in the croquette. I don't know. Maybe the bones from the fish I filleted earlier stuck to my hands by accident. Julie's desperate excuses continued.
It wasn't just a few small bones. How could such large chunks accidentally end up in there? And why did you try so hard to stop Sophia from eating that particular croquette? But You can't answer, can you? You knew about the bones in that croquette.
I pulled Sophia close and glared at Julie.
If Sophia had eaten that unknowingly, it would have been disastrous. Are you even fit to be her mother? It's not like that. It wasn't Sophia I hated, it was you.
Julie's confession followed, cornered and loud. The room went silent for a moment, then I smiled slyly. You just gave yourself away. Julie's face showed immediate regret.
The bone-filled croquette was meant for me. The other one was fine. So, you really hate me that much? Is this true, Julie? Why would you do something so foolish?
Bob interrogated her. Julie then feigned fear. I'm sorry. I've been enduring your mother's bullying since we got married. But I never told you because I didn't want to worry you.
What are you talking about?
I had no recollection of such behavior, but Julie went on to claim, even when I come home tired from my part-time job and try to take a break on the sofa, you immediately demands, start cooking now, or clean the room. You show a completely different face when Bob is around, like a demon or a devil. She portrayed me as if I were some kind of monster.
That's not how it was.
As I was bewildered, Sophia tugged at my sleeve. Mom's lying.
She always comes home late and tells me to eat at Grandma's. I've never seen her cook at home. She does nothing. Grandma did everything for me.
Hey, don't talk nonsense!
Julie yelled, face red, as her child revealed the truth. So that's how it was. I was always busy with work and often came home late, so I didn't know about home. I never imagined Julie was such a terrible mother. I'm sorry, Sophia, Bob said, stroking Sophia's head.
People who work part-time usually consider their family situation, right? Yet you're always busy? Do you need mom's help every day?
Bob asked skeptically. Sorry, I lied. My part-time job ended early, but I was stressed from the unfamiliar work and wanted some time to unwind. You were so kind and caring, I took advantage of that. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm reflecting. Julie's demeanor suddenly turned meek. You promised to talk to me about any problems before we got married, remember? I'm sorry, Bob. No, it's my fault too. I used work as an excuse to dump everything on you. I'm reflecting. So, promise me you won't do such foolish things again. Thank you, Bob. I don't want to do that again. I promise. As the couple's relationship seemed to mend, I noticed Julie smirking. Julie, you're hiding something from us, aren't you? What are you talking about? I'm not hiding anything. I've reflected on my past actions and decided to live for Sophia and our family. You're having an affair, aren't you? I confronted Julie with the fact I'd kept to myself. Julie's gaze wandered as she retorted, Don't say such ridiculous things. That's enough, Mom. It's cruel to accuse Julie like that when she's already repenting. Bob interjected, taking Julie's side. I pulled out a brown envelope from my bag, opened it, and urged, Can you still say the same after seeing this?
What is this? No way!
The envelope contained a report from a private investigator I'd hired. Soon after Sophia started daycare, Julie began frequently dumping childcare responsibilities on me. Suspecting something was off, I had hired a private investigator to look into it. It revealed that Julie had been secretly dating a younger man shortly after Sophia started daycare. Furious at this revelation, I scolded Julie without disclosing her affair, and afterward, she gradually stopped leaving Sophia with me. After receiving reports from the infidelity investigation showing no further developments, I was relieved, thinking Julie had reformed and started to take childcare seriously. However, as soon as Sophia started elementary school, Julie once again began to neglect childcare and household duties. A renewed investigation showed a shocking twist. Her new lover was a completely different man. Julie was the kind of woman who indiscriminately dated any man she took a liking to.
Wrong! This is wrong! You're misunderstanding. Maybe the private investigator twisted the facts because he wanted his success fee.
Julie continued with her implausible excuses. Sophia pulled my sleeve again. Mom used to dress up in fancy clothes and leave late at night when Dad wasn't around. A man would wait in the parking lot and take her away in his car. I saw it many times. And when Dad was coming home, Mom would return home too, so Dad never realized she was going out.
That's a lie. Believe me, I never cheated.
Even if you were stressed, how could I trust you after you tried to hurt Mom with the fish bone in the croquette? It's over between us, Bob said, picking up Sophia. Do you want to live with Grandma? Sophia nodded emphatically. That's it, Julie. Bob and Sophia are leaving. As we left Julie standing there bewildered, Bob consulted a lawyer with the investigator's report. His intention to divorce was firm. Sophia expressed her desire to live with her father and grandmother, completely refusing to return to Julie. As a result of the mediation, the divorce between Julie and Bob was officially finalized. Bob sought child support, successfully claiming from Julie. It seemed Julie's cheating partner had reasons and wanted to quickly resolve the issue, so he is no longer in touch with her. Bob and Sophia began living with me. Finally done with work for the day, Bob said,
stretching as he emerged from his room. Bob switched to fully remote work. He said, "I want to spend more time with Sophia." He seemed much happier now. "Shall we have dinner early?" Bob suggested, rubbing his stomach.
Yeah. I'm starving.
Sophia stood up from the TV. "Is that okay, Mom?" "Dinner's ready. It's Sophia's favorite meatloaf."
Yay!
"I love your meatloaf, Grandma. But no carrots, please."
No, eat your vegetables.
Thanks to me not liking carrots, Grandma didn't get hurt by the bone. So I shouldn't have to eat them, right? Sophia pleaded.
That's a different matter. They're tasty, so eat up.
Okay. Sophia agreed to eat the carrots, albeit reluctantly. I felt immense joy watching Sophia grow up before my eyes.